Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing some 90-degree round elbows with 6 segments, like so. So in the first part of the video we're going to be doing a pattern like so. To do this one right here, and this one's going to require 4 full fishes with these, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 half fishes like so. And these will go on the outer ends of the elbow, so it'll be 1, 2 for a total of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then later part of the video we'll be doing a layout for 1 full fish, and this will just be duplicated 6 times, obviously, to make 6 segments. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to be working with 4-inch in diameter. And we're going to give it a 2.5-inch throat, so like so. Alright, let's get to it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little version of what we're going to be doing so you guys understand where I'm getting my degrees to get 6 segments. So for now, just sit back and relax and watch while I do this. So that's going to be our throat right here and our heel, if you guys can imagine. There's our throat, and our heel is going to be like so. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be dividing this 90-degree in half, so you'll get 2 45 degrees. So you get 2 pies of 45 degrees. And within every pie of 45 degree, we're going to go ahead and fit in 2 18 degrees and 1 9 degree. So 18 plus 18 plus 9 make 45 degrees. So if you do the same thing on the other end of the pie of 45 degrees, fitting them with also 2 18s plus a 9, that'll make the 45. So what we're going to be doing is putting a 9 degree, 18, 18, 18, another 18, and then a 9, and that'll make a total of 90 degrees. So that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be splitting this in half, like so. We're going to get a 45 degree here, 45 degree here, and then split these in 3. We're going to put a 9 degree here, and then an 18, 18, split this in 3 as well. And then also put 18 here, 18 there, and then we're going to end it at 9 degrees here. So that'll be a total of 4 18 degrees and 2 9 degrees equals 9 degrees, 90 degrees. All right, so let's get to that. So right now we're going to go ahead and do a random horizontal line. Okay, and then we're going to start our pivot point of our throat right here, and then go 2.5 inches of throat, so 1, 2.5. And then our radius is going to be 4 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And there it is. So if you can imagine, I'm not really going to go ahead and make that right there. But if you want to, you can go ahead. But this is basically, if you think about it, that is your point right here for your pivot point. And then that'll be the throat. And then this will be your heel. But for this exercise, you really don't need to do this. But if you want to, by all means, go ahead. All right, now let's go ahead and divide the 4-inch diameter in half. So let's go ahead and find our halfway point of 4 inches, so that'll be 2 inches. So 1, 2. Alright, now let's go ahead and make a circle. We're just going to go ahead and check and see if it matches, which it does. So let's go ahead and make our circle. Alright, perfect. Now in the same position, go ahead and put your sharp point here and strike an arc on the top and the bottom. Do the same thing here. Strike an arc on top and the bottom. Okay, now what we want to do is put an arc here and here, or rather an arc, yeah. So what you can do is stay in the same position, put your sharp point here, strike an arc on the top, and then crisscross it by putting a sharp point on the other end, and boom, there it is. Let's go ahead and get a ruler and line it up to the center of a circle and do a line like so. Alright, perfect. Now in the same position that you had it to make your circle, go ahead and put your sharp point here now and strike an arc there, one here, same thing on this end and the bottom, sharp arc right there, and like so. Alright, perfect. Okay, now that we got that, we need to go ahead and do our 9-degree starting from the pivot point of our throat. So, and one of the ways that you can do that is by using this protractor. So you can just position this at 9-degree. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and use a rafter square. So I'm just going to simply put this very edge at the pivot point of the throat, and this end right here on this line right there, to try to get my 9-degree. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that from this point to this point here, I should shoot a line so I can get a 90-degree angle. And then I want to throw a line like so. And that is going to be my 9-degree. 9-degree. Okay, now that we got that, now let's go ahead and join these arcs by making some vertical lines. So let's go ahead, line up these two arcs, and then make a line down by starting from this 9-degree line. Do the same thing with this arc to that arc. Put your pencil point there and throw a line down to this base line. You can skip this one. Now work on to the next one right there. Then this one to that one. Okay, now we got to get these two outer ends. So you can just kind of eyeball it and just make sure that it's parallel to the one next to it. And then make a line like so. You can barely see it. And then do the same thing on this side. Just kind of eyeball it, make sure it's parallel to this one. And there it is. Okay, so you got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now let's go ahead and number these. Okay, so this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, now that we got that, now that we got this information on our layout, Now we want to go ahead and transfer it onto our grid. So in order to do that, what we're going to be doing is we're going to take our 4-inch right here, and we're going to do the pi formula. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your diameter, so in this case it's 4 inches, so 4 inches times 3.1416 equals 12 and 9/16. So what that's saying is that from this point all the way around closed loop has a stretch length of 12 and 9/16. So that is what you're going to be putting on your horizontal line at 12 and 9/16. Okay, so we're going to go 12 and 9/16. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a random line. And then as far as your height, what you're going to do is you're going to take the longest line. So from numbers 1 through 7, the longest line or vertical line that you see here is 7. So you're just going to take the measurement of that, and whatever that dimension is, double it, and then that'll give you a more or less height so that you can make your square or rectangle. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and give it I would say 12 and a half, or 2.5 rather. Okay, so let's go ahead and first establish our 12 and 9/16 length on our horizontal line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 9/16, which is right there. And then we're going to give it 2.5 inch height. 1, 2.5. Now let's go ahead and finish that opposite end of our rectangle. Just realized how off of an uneven horizontal line that is. I apologize for that, but this will still work. Alright, now let's go ahead and make a representation of this baseline right here in the middle, because take in mind, whatever you're going to put your sharp point on your compass here, you're going to be putting it right here on this baseline to swing up and down at the same time. So let's go ahead and divide this in half. So 2.5 inches divided by 2 is 1.25. Do the same thing on this side. Alright, now in this grid we need to get a total of 13 vertical lines, including the outer lines. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So let's go ahead and do that. And just like on other videos, one of the ways you can get your 13 lines is you can just simply take your compass and use one of these pies or distance of pies within your circle and just measure that. And then all you can do is just simply just start striking lines like so all the way across and on the top as well until you get to a total of 13 lines. But as usual, I'm going to do it the long way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half. I'm going to cut this in half here and here as well. So right around there, I think. Hopefully that'll reach. And yes, it will. Okay, now that we got that, now I want to go ahead and utilize these pies in the circle, and they should match pretty close. And then just simply transfer those here. Alright, let's go ahead and get our vertical lines down. Alright, so there should be total of 13 vertical lines. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's go ahead and number them. This will be 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, and 4. Alright, now let's go ahead and begin. So now what you're going to do is you're going to put your sharp point right here on this baseline, and then you're going to open up your pencil point on the 90-degree line, what you see right here. So let's go ahead and start off by 1, but seeing how this is too small and this is not going to really exactly fit, I'll just go ahead and use this instead. So let's go ahead and start off with 1. So I'm going to put my sharp point here and then open up the other sharp point of our compass like so. And then put your sharp point on 1, and you're gonna put a mark on the top and the bottom. So hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, let's go ahead and do 2. Sharp point on 2, open up your compass to the 90-degree line of 2, lock it in place, put it on 2 and 2. So 2 and 2. Alright, next one, 3. Sharp point on the baseline of 3, and then open up your other end of your compass on your 90-degree line. I'm going to lock it in place like so. And you're going to go 3, 3. And put on the bottom, top, and bottom. Top and bottom. So hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, now let's go ahead and do 4. Put your sharp point on 4. Then put your pencil point on your 9-degree line. We're going to lock it in place like so. Okay. Put your sharp point on 4, 4, and 4. So 4, 4 and 4. Oops, kind of moved. Okay, now let's go ahead and do 5. Sharp point on the baseline of 5, and then open up your pencil point on your 9-degree line. Lock it in place, and go 5 and 5. So top, bottom, and top and bottom. Okay, we're almost there. Let's go and do 6. Put your sharp point on 6. Open up your compass, pencil point on your 9-degree line of 6. Go 6 and 6. 6 and 6. There we go. And then last one is 7. Sharp point on 7. Open up your compass to your 9-degree line of 7. I'm going to lock it in place like so. Put sharp point on 7 and strike an arc on the top and the bottom. Alright, so there it is. So if everything was done correctly, this should fit there. And there you guys go. What do you guys think? Pretty easy, right? Okay, and then just to kind of demonstrate, this goes here, wraps around like so. Right, and then your outer ends, so this takes 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, so that would be these right here. And there it is. Pretty easy, right? Alright, now let's go ahead and do the last one. Let's go ahead and do the other version of 6 segments. So again, just sit back and relax, and I'm going to go ahead and do another mini version of what we're going to be doing next. So let's see here. Alright, so this is going to be our throat, again at 2.5 inches. I know you guys can barely see me on that camera. I'm trying to get my arms out of the way. Okay, so here's what we got. So what we're going to be doing is, again, we're going to be dividing this in half. So we're going to divide this 9-degree in half and get 2 45-degree pies. And in each of the 45-degree pies, we're going to put 3 15-degree pies. So that'll be a total of 6. So in one 45-degree, we're going to be putting 3 15-degree pies. And on the other half, we're also going to be doing or putting 3 15-degree pies as well. And that'll total to 90 degrees. So we're going to split it in half again. And this will be 45-degree. Oops, not 450 degrees. 45-degree. This will also be a 40-degree or 45-degree. Then we're going to split this in 3. And put a 15-degree here, 15-degree there, 15-degree there. That'll make 45. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Split it in 3 and put 15-degree there, 15-degree there, 15-degree there. So that's pretty much it. So that'll total to 6 15 degrees equals 90 degree. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and start working on our 15 degrees. Now, what I want to mention is, in order to get the 15 degree, we're going to go ahead and first start off by finding a 60 degree so that we can go ahead and divide that in half, and that'll turn into 30 degrees. Then once we find the 30 degree, we're going to divide that in half, and that'll turn into 15 degree. But even then, we're also going to have to divide the 15 degree in half to come up with the 7.5 degree, because again, if you imagine, to get from here to here, to get these 2 points at the highest point, which is number 7, 15 degree, we'll need to strike an arc at 7.5 degree, and then from here we're going to have to strike an arc down to make another 7.5 degree. So 7.5 plus 7.5 make the 15 degree. Go ahead and put your sharp point on your pivot point of your throat, where you're going to start your throat for your radius, and then put your pencil point on your heel. So in this case, it's going to be right at this point. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and strike an arc, like as if you're making this heel right here. So go ahead and strike an arc, like so. Okay. Now in the same position that you have it here, go ahead and put your sharp point right here at this tip where 7's at, and then crisscross the heel right there. Okay. Now what you have right here, from this point to this point right there, that should be 60 degrees. So this is 60 degrees. So now that we have 60 degrees here to here, now let's go ahead and divide that in half. So we're going to strike an arc there, and then crisscross the previous arc, and then we're going to go ahead and line up this crisscross arc to the pivot point here. And then we're going to do a line right here. Okay, so that now is 30 degrees. So again, we need to get to 15 degrees. So now we're going to go ahead and divide this in half, this 30 degrees, to get 15. So we're going to go ahead and adjust our compass. We're going to do a random mark there. Random mark like so. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing. Put our ruler here to our pivot point there. Like so. And then we're going to do a mark right there. Now that is 15 degree. Okay. So now we need to go ahead and divide this one more time to get our 7.5 degree. So we're going to do it again. And we're going to do a random mark there. And one there. And that should be our 7.5 degree. And there it is. So this is 7.5 degree. And that is what we're going to need to make our 15 degrees. And just for those who were curious to see if that was accurate, let's go ahead and see if that's true. So we're going to use our rafter square here. I'm going to put my sharp point on this pivot point and then line this up right here along this horizontal line. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is 5, 6, 7.5. And there you go. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and concentrate on these points right here. So I'm going to go ahead and circle them. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, let's go ahead and start. So let's go and start with 1. Put your sharp point on your baseline of 1, and then open up your other end of the compass to your 7.5 degree line. We're going to lock it in place like so, and go to 1. Mark on the top and mark at the bottom. Okay, let's go ahead and do 2. Lock it in place. 2 and 2. Top, bottom, top, bottom. Alright, let's go ahead and do 3. Sharp point on your baseline of 3, and then open up your other end of the compass on your 7.5 degree line, lock it in place, and go 3 and 3. Top, bottom, top, bottom. Alright, let's do 4. Put your sharp point on your baseline of 4, and then open up your pencil point on 4. We're going to lock it in place like so. We're going to go 4, 4, and 4. So 4, 4, and 4. Alright, next 5. Sharp point on baseline 5, and then open up your pencil point to your 7.5 degree line, lock it in place, and go 5 and 5. Top, bottom, top, bottom. Alright, and let's do 6. Lock it in place like so. Okay, 6 and 6. 6 and 6. 6 and 6. And then the last one is 7. Put your sharp point on your baseline of 7. Open up your pencil point to the 7.5 degree. And go 7. 7 and 7. There you go. Alright, so if everything was done correctly, this should fit in here. So let's see. And there it is. Perfect. What do you guys think? Easy, right? Let me show you guys. See the difference? I'm going to move it up. So that should be for this right here. And that's it. Pretty easy, right? So that is pretty much it. Hopefully you guys like this video, and hopefully you guys got value. So yeah, hopefully you guys like this. I don't know if you guys noticed that there's a pattern of 3 segments, 4 segments. This is 6 segments. An older video was 5 segments. I might end up going back and doing a 5 segment and then maybe do a 7 segment. But that's pretty much it. So anyways, hopefully you guys like the video, and if you know of a friend or a co-worker that can get value out of this, and you know, think that it might help them, go ahead and share this video with them. And that, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.